Trisha Paytas recently discussed why she didn't publish the video she made with Jeffree Star on her Just Trish podcast. Here's what she said.
Very quickly, because I just feel like talking about this saying like I don't want drama, and then it's like let me talk about this so it creates drama. Someone asked me at my live show yesterday this question. I answered it. It got clipped. I was like, let me just talk about it. It's not that I haven't been avoiding it. I just know talking about it creates more drama. So me being like, I didn't want the drama, so me talking about it creates more drama. But it's been talked about. Adam's talked about it, and people speculate. And I just thought I would talk about it, and not to go into 2025 because literally all the comments are always like, where is the Jeffree episode? Which is kind of like camp at this point now. It's kind of like the Rainbow Birkin. It's kind of just like the comment we get, kind of like Moses, where are the cat?
I don't think that Moses's cats should be considered funny or campy, especially when you consider what really happened in that situation.
The Jeffree episode, which is kind of like camp at this point now. It's like it just becomes a thing at this point.
It's camp that Trisha accused Jeffree and his friends of mistreating her to the point where she said she was traumatized for a whole year over it.
And what if we just kept teasing it? Like the Jeffree episode coming next week, you know? But no, it's really not that deep, not that serious.
No, because it sure seemed like it at the time.
This is something that traumatized me for a full year, and Shay and Riley knew about it 2 days after this happened. It was traumatizing. I was shaking. My mom, my sister, I was like, my friend Jeff, like, I was shaking from it. It was beyond talking about me being on drugs and my sobriety to people. It was beyond that. It was him texting me saying, I asked him where my Balenciaga was that I purchased, because I purchased Balenciaga with them, and he's like, oh, we're gonna bring it up to my room. And I'm like, hey, I left early that night, and I was like, hey, where's my Balenciaga? He's like, Maddie threw it in the trash. And I needed that hoodie. I needed that hoodie to go home. And I will get my old phone and I will look for those text messages because it was so nasty. He would call me at like 4 a.m. the day I was leaving. I was like, hey, come downstairs. We're all here. I would go down into the casino by myself and they wouldn't be there and he wouldn't answer. And it was just nasty, mean girl shit. He gave me a present or whatever. I put my camera in that present, this bag. He gave the bag away with my camera in it to Rich Lux. And I was like, that's my camera. Like, I just need that back. I don't care about bag. I don't care about gifts. And the fact that they're trying to, oh, he paid for this trip. I can pay for my own trips. I paid for me and my boyfriend's trip to Greece first class. Like, I can pay for my own shit. And I'm just so, like, it's so traumatizing. And to hear now Shane, and I never heard him this way, just to be like, come over and let's forget about it. And like, oh, like, Jeffree's been loyal to me. And he told me today, oh, I guess I just wanted to believe the stuff you said about, that Jeffree said about you wasn't true. And like, I was shaking and traumatized by it. I was like smacking food out of my hand, calling me like saying I'm poor and all this stuff. It's like so triggering. And I know I'm 32 and stuff, but like I have so many, clearly I have so many issues, but even if I don't have issues, even if I have no problems, no mental health issues at all, like someone just saying that shit. And Jeffree's like, well, I already apologized, and like, love you, girl, just so condescending, and it's so disgusting. It is so disgusting that they're so fake, that it's so fake. I am not perfect. I am not perfect, but I am not vile. I am not vile. I don't make fun of people's appearances. I don't make fun of their substance abuse issues. I don't make fun of their weight, their skin, and Shane knew all this. And Riley, they knew all this. And they continue to promote him. This is, and you know, he's like, and I don't expect him to say anything. Honestly, I didn't expect him to say anything. The least I thought they could do is unfollow Jay and take down the last podcast, like just gushing over how amazing Jeffree is, and I can't believe he's speaking our names. He's vile. He's vile. And how many people have to come forward and say how nasty he is? How horrible, horrific the things he says. Just making fun of people's drug habits. This other person on the trip, all he did was make fun of like how he was on drugs and he's such a druggie and such a loser. Like it's vile. It's vile. It's why I distanced myself from that trip. My DMs and Tab are still on the internet, and like I was like, hey, leave me out of the video. I'm scared of Jeffree, and I was scared of him for so long because of this, because she puts this manipulative spin on it.
I actually like talked to Jeffree. Like Jeffree's like, if you don't want to post the video, like it was a while ago, or whatever, and he's like, if you don't want to post it, like I understand. Lots of like reasons went into this. What I realized doing the podcast is, obviously our beef or whatever is so minor.
Accusing someone of telling you to unalive yourself is minor?
They said some horrible shit about like to jump off and like myself outside of the Vegas balcony and stuff, like just some like crazy shit. Our beef or whatever is so minor compared to things we talked about Dramageddon, and to us it was just a fun little key. Like to me it was like so almost like silly. It was because we're not involved with it. I was like, God, this is actually so silly. There is a lot of like darkness to it before even the Jeffree of it all got involved. But then Jeffree was here and I realized like it's not a cute key for him or like other people involved. Like there's a lot of like, I won't even say bad feelings. I think there's just a lot of unresolved feelings between everybody. So much I don't want to say miscommunication, but just there's just a lot happening there. And it's like, and while he was here, he's like, I'm so tired of talking about this. But he was like, I'll talk about it because you asked. So then I kind of felt bad. And I feel that. I feel it in a way where it's like, I don't want to talk about things.
Yeah. You like to pretend that you don't remember.
No, Jeffree's cool.
Yeah.
I think we like had like, I don't know, maybe we didn't have beef. I don't know. Sometimes, you think about like, why did we fall out? Sometimes I forget. Some part of me sometimes is like, God, I would love to like talk to him, like have him on the podcast, but I'm just also like, is that a bad idea? Like, I don't know. I feel like, was our falling out bad? I don't know. Sometimes I don't remember either. Like, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, wait, sometimes I forget.
I
forget. I remember, but sometimes you forget the severity.
Either that or to rewrite history.
I always really like Jeffree. I mean, maybe that's like a hot take or whatever. And I don't know everything he's done, everything like that. But it's like, he was always like, I don't know. He was always like funny to me. But I don't know. It's like definitely love-hate where I'm like...
No, it's like love to watch from afar type vibe.
I think that's what it is. You know what I mean? Because I've told you I'm scared of a lot of people. And it's not just Jeffree. I'm scared of like everybody. I'm just like, okay. I'm like, I like to keep my peace because I am so happy in life right now. So I'm like, let me just be like a cute little like key, but like not get so serious. So... Yeah. Like I don't mind talking about certain stuff if like, it's as long as it didn't like traumatize me, which it didn't. Like Jeffree did not traumatize me, Shane did not traumatize me.
It was traumatizing. I was shaking. I was shaking and traumatized by it.
It's like then I can talk about it, stuff that like whatever. If something traumatizes me, then I just like don't talk about it.
Could have fooled me.
I don't want to talk about things when people bring it up. And Jeffree's very much like, I'll talk about whatever. He does like TikTok live and stuff. But he's like, I just don't want to talk about, like, I'm just over talking about this. So then after like sitting on it for a while, I felt kind of off on the video because again, it's like there's so many parts to the story and I was not involved in it at all.
Nope, but she did involve herself.
I don't know any of these people involved. So I'm like, let me just not have this where it's like so many people are hurt by it. There's so much like darkness. There's so much hurt. I've heard Tati's side.
That didn't stop her from calling Tati a villain and seemingly defending James Charles, although she previously called him a pedo and a groomer.
Tati's the villain of all of it. James has been quiet, Jeffree's side, and it's just all very murky and sad, and everything's really sad and kind of none of it really ends well for anyone. So for me, everything's been like good vibes. And I wouldn't even say Jeffree was bad vibes, but just overall, I listened to you guys and kind of just gauge the situation. And I saw that he went on canceled and, in general, it just wasn't something I wanted to like partake in anymore.
Really? Because it just seems like she didn't want the backlash.
Your experience with Jeffree is very different. You have a lot of other things to talk about as well.
She said they talked about the Vegas trip, and I was like, oh, okay, teeth. But I have some input on that too.
Yes, well, may the odds be ever in your favor on Friday. I'll say that. Yeah, we'll say that.
I know, the comments are scaring me. I was feeling really good. I talked to Jeffree on the phone for like an hour, and I was feeling good because like Jeffree like apologized to me like on the phone again. Like what we said in Hot Topics was true. Is like he's like one of the only people who's ever like actually apologized to me. And like I feel like we always talk about this. Like I'm the one apologizing to everyone. So Jeffree not only apologized to me during the Vegas thing after it happened, but he also apologized on the phone again. And he just like seemed like a very different Jeffree. Now seeing all this, I was like, oh my God, drama. It just wasn't something I wanted to like partake in anymore, like in the sense of drama. Like I feel like we were in like different places. I'm in a very different place, and I was like, I just don't want to bring that up, especially when it involves other people and it's like so heavy. When we talk about drama on here, especially Dramageddon, I feel like it's a key. It's like funny. We keep it as light as possible, and if there's any dark stuff, we try to like not talk about that. But I feel like it just was a little dark and heavy for so many people involved.
That's funny. Because she didn't seem to feel that way when she talked about it over multiple episodes and even made a Patreon series on it.
So, and I don't know if anyone really knows the truth. When you say two sides to every story, I think there's like 6 sides to these stories. And I think like everyone says, the truth is always somewhere in the middle. No one, I'm sure this will be like the biggest unsolved mystery drama getting, because we don't know like the full truth of everything. There's so many parts, so many layers. And I don't know, I think just for me, it was just a little too heavy and a little too serious for what we do here. I love this platform of just entertaining people and not having to evoke negative emotions out of people and be drama.
If that's true, then it kind of makes you wonder why she even entertained it to begin with.
And in a way, I was hoping that for Jeffree too. I think he like understood when I told him and kind of agreed, because it's just like, I don't know if, I don't want to speak for him, but you know, I just don't know if that drama is the look we want or the feel. I don't know. The vibes were, it was fine. I didn't think it was a waste of time. Like he actually apologized to me again for this Vegas stuff, and we kind of squashed that, and it's been squashed or whatever. So to me, that felt good. That didn't feel like a waste of time. It's just too much when like other people are involved and I'm just not fully like aware of the situation. I'm not a journalist.
Thanks, Captain Obvious.
I am not someone who like can deep dive and get all sides of the story. So I was just like not equipped to do that interview. So, and in general, a lot of you guys know, you guys protect me so much in the sense of protecting my peace. It doesn't matter if it was Jeffree or anyone. You guys will always let me know. Hawk to it. You guys had that intuition too. I was like, let me go on Hawk to it. And everyone's like, no, Trish, don't go on Hawk to it. You know what I mean? And look at this. The Hawk to it scam happened. You know, the crypto scam.
How would Haley's allegations of being involved in a crypto scam reflect negatively on Trisha as a guest? That just doesn't make any sense to me.
I was like, y'all knew, y'all protect. So thank you. I know you guys want to protect my energy, and I appreciate that so much. And that sometimes I have to listen to that. Sometimes I need to, because sometimes I'm so in my world and I'm just like, no, this will be good.
Keep in mind that Trisha and Oscar knew that having Jeffree on the podcast probably wouldn't be well received by their audience.
Obviously, I feel like our audience is very divided if we would ever have Jeffree on, or any of the Dramageddon survivors. I don't know what else you call them.
But I like to listen to you guys, and you know, a lot of people like just don't air. And I know a lot of people want to too, and I was like so conflicted, and I don't want Jeffree to feel like it was a waste of time. I didn't think I wasted my time, but we're just like totally different people, and I not in anything bad. We're just totally different people, and you know, different ways of life. But I do think what he told me is he doesn't like want to like relive this drama. I don't want to relive the drama, and I also don't want to be a part of drama or create more drama that doesn't need to be, and rehash these things that have already been somewhat resolved. But no, I appreciate him like coming out. I appreciate you guys literally letting me know what you want to see, because at the end of the day, it's all about the community we create here. And I think it's a safe space. I think it's a fun space, and I like to keep it very light. And you know, all the people who are Jeffree fans, like, you know, I do think he's at a completely different space in life too. And all the people who are my fans, thank you, and our joint fans, I thank you for that. And yeah,
we'll put it on a hard drive and we'll put it inside of the Birkin bag.
Ooh, auction it one day.
Yeah.
That's the bonus you get.
Love that. Okay, one day. It will be like a relic. It will be a relic. Maybe, how do you sell? Remember those things everyone did that were kind of scammy? What was it, NFTs? We make it like an NFT of it, sell it for $100 million. Remember those things everyone did that were kind of scammy? What was it, NFTs? It will be a piece. It will be a piece of like history that's been out there that'll like never be seen, and it is kind of awful.
Why kind of awful? It makes you wonder if things didn't go as well as Trisha is claiming.
But also kind of amazing. Don't you love that? Having a little something that will just be like lost in time.
Lost media.
Yeah. Be like, what happened?
Like the last oversharing.
Oh, yeah, the last
well, I don't think anyone cares about that as much.
Yeah, I don't think anyone really cared about it from the get-go.
I think there's
all of us together.
an underwhelming demand for that, but anyway, so that's it. I wanted to like to say that, so you don't think I'm like ignoring. For me, I was just like I said, I didn't want to be like bringing it up because I'm like, I'm over the drama. Let me talk about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But everything, you know, I think, you know, I'm happy with this. I feel good about it. And like I said, it's a lot of stories that like I'm not involved with, and I have no business just blasting it out there.
Maybe you should have thought about that to begin with.
To be honest, I was just like listening to a lot of it because I'm like, Oscar saw it. I'm very much like, I didn't know what to say. I'm like,
Why was she so flustered if it supposedly went well?
like panicking in all levels. I was like, okay.
Yeah, it was wild. It was wild. But I think your intentions, again, going into it, I think were really like valid and like honestly kind of wholesome. I feel like you really just wanted to like tie everything up with like a little bow, you know?
Oh, Oscar. Forever the loyal sycophant, giving grace even when it isn't deserved.
And then it just didn't pan out, I think. But I think going into it, your intentions were really like pure, at least, you know? So
100%.
Yeah.
I have a hard time believing that Trisha's intentions were 100% wholesome and pure. It's more likely that she just wanted the tea. She loves gossip and admits it.
I wish I could be like you. I'm so into gossip. I'm so into... I am. Yeah, that tea will never get old to me. It's not worth views or anything for me at all to like bring up any negative feelings to anyone or any sort of disparaging feelings to anyone or, you know, people that I put in the past. That was not mine. Anyways, you can make the judgments as you want, but...
She doesn't seem very confident. It's probably because she did a lot of talking in circles, in my opinion. Another thing I noticed was the number of jump cuts in this last segment of the podcast, where she talks about the Jeffree episode. Interesting.
That's it. That's that. And I asked a lot of people. I showed it to, obviously, Jimmy saw it and Oscar saw it, and I was also awful. I was not my best self. I was very flustered through the whole thing.
Again, she says how flustered she was. I just don't understand this reaction for something she said went well.
I'm just so
They talk about how Dramageddon has an entertainment value for the viewer and as an outsider, but not so much once you realize the accusations and the actual people involved.
Then you're like, okay, wait a minute. Like, I can watch it as a viewer, but I don't want to participate as, like getting in it is a very different story.
We see the memes of like time and place, and it's like the delivery, everything can be like comedic and funny, but yeah, there's so many accusations from everybody involved, and it's like, and like people are like on their life, like this is what happened, you don't even know about this, and then I realized like, oh my god, this is like something that like I should be investigating or something.
It's not like we envision Tati or Charles sitting on this chair and talking about it either, you know. So it's like,
I don't know them.
That's what I'm saying. Like, right. It's not that.
But the reason I invited Jeffree wasn't for Dramageddon, for me personally.
That's funny, because the whole reason Jeffree being a podcast guest was even brought up to begin with was to try to get some answers. At least that's my understanding.
He had no closure after that.
Closure.
No.
She started it all and she won't end it all. She just like keeps it going.
It won't end with Tati. And out of all of them, you're right. Like out of all of them, really our only options to get answers is Jeffree.
He would talk.
Yeah, I don't think James would either. Dramageddon's part specifically. I think Jeffree really is the only option. And who else is going to do it? Like, where are we going to get answers, you guys?
It really was. I mean, it was like cute because we like went through it, but it was because like I knew him and we had our issues, and I was trying to be like, okay, look, we can resolve these issues. You know what I mean? Like, I just think that was what I was trying to show, was like growth. And then, you know, but I listened to you guys and I listened to Heart, and I told Jeffree it wasn't airing and all that stuff like that. So I think hopefully it's all good, and definitely not inviting Tati or James on. No offense. I don't know you, but also hope you're well. Hope everyone healed from that. That's a lot. That's a lot. Yeah. That's more drama than I've ever been. Like, that is actually, because I've never been in drama with really people. It's more drama by myself. But that's why there's so much entanglement. But.
Yeah, and also, like, Trisha knew, like, literally, because we filmed Patreon right after, and literally the whole time we were filming Patreon, like, you were still reeling from it, and so, like, literally, I think your gut instinct from the jump, by the way, it wasn't like, we saw it on cancel, like, oh, no, like, literally, I was a witness to the internal conflict the second it happened.
Yeah, it was a lot. It was just, like, a lot, and you just feel that. That's very true. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
So Oscar is reinforcing the idea that Trisha had reservations about the interview as soon as she was finished filming, and not just as a result of the negative reaction from her fans. This just leads me with more questions, and specifically, it makes me question if it really did go well. Trisha said a lot in this segment without actually saying much at all, a true skill. I'm not quite sure what to make of it. Overall, I truly think that she just didn't want any backlash from platforming Jeffree. But the thing is that she did. She's just not airing the episode. What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments, and please consider subscribing.
I was shaking and traumatized by it. It was traumatizing. I was shaking.